Hi, everybody. I am Denise Flood from deniseflood.com and Change Your Frequency, Change Your Life. And it is my honor and privilege today to be here on Spiritual Communities Network to introduce the Food Healing Oracle deck. It is a deck that I have been working with since it came out in 2020. And I love it so much. It's helped me in so many ways. It marries our emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual wellness together with frequency. And it is a wonderful tool for that. And so I wanted to get on and tell you about the wisdom, the healing, and the transformation that can come about by consciously choosing the everyday foods that we eat. Because most of us think of food only in terms of calories, diets, or nutrition. But food is so much more than fuel. It holds energy, memory, symbolism, and frequency. And this can affect us emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Uh, the Food Healing Oracle deck comes with this wonderful book. Um, and it helps us unlock this deeper wisdom. And by working with it, we can move beyond patterns of stress or patterns of conditioning into conscious connection with food as a healing ally. And I will tell you the truth in that I have a chapter in this book, High Vibrational Wellness. And I used this deck to help me break the ancestral cycle of generational wounds around food and how it was presented to me as a child, and my heritage versus how I wanted to bring my own daughter up versus how I want to feed myself at this stage of my life. And so food and emotional transformation is where I want to start because most of us have some experience with emotional eating. We turn to food to soothe ourselves. I have been guilty of using food to numb myself or to reward myself. And it often comes from unprocessed emotions. It could be loneliness, stress, grief, anger. Um, there's all kinds of different emotions that we can begin emotionally eating. So when we use this deck and draw cards, and perhaps we draw a card like chocolate. Chocolate is the indulgence card. This deck I love because it doesn't shame us for craving chocolate. Instead, it asks us, what part of me is seeking sweetness or comfort or self-love? So this reframes emotional eating into emotional awareness. And when we work with food in this way, we transform eating from a coping mechanism into a tool for emotional healing. So instead of asking, why did I eat that? I ask, what is this food trying to show me about what I truly need? So beautiful on that emotional level. And now I was talking to you about generational stories and wounds. Maybe your family, like mine, forced me to finish my plate, and I got punished when I didn't, even if I was full. Or maybe certain foods that bring up painful memories of scarcity or poverty or cultural shame. It can be so many things. And the Food Healing Oracle deck helps us gently bring these patterns to the surface. For example, perhaps I might pull the apple card. Apple is abundance. This card might bring up memories of lack or limitation. So it can invite us to release inherited beliefs like there's never enough or whatever lack that we were brought up with. But instead, we can look at this and embrace the truth that nourishment and abundance are our birthright. And by recognizing generational food trauma, we open the door to healing. And that healing isn't just for ourselves, but for future generations when we break those cycles. So food becomes a way to rewrite our stories. Okay. The third thing I wanted to bring up was food and resilience. On the physical and spiritual level, food is also about resilience, how we nourish ourselves to stay strong and to thrive. And I don't think it was by chance that this food deck came out um, right before COVID hit. So we got a chance to examine what foods we were choosing to stay strong and build our immunity. And one of the cards here that I absolutely love, and this is really when people ask me what my favorite food is, I always say garlic because garlic is for protection. Garlic has been used for centuries to ward off illness and negative energy. When you pull a card like garlic, it reminds us to not only fortify our physical body with foods that strengthen our immune system, but also to protect our mental and our spiritual boundaries. Super important in the world today. Another example would be blueberries. Blueberries is the clarity card. So beyond being nutrient dense, blueberries carry the energy of clear vision. If you look at it and you ever look at a little blueberry, you can almost see the little eyes, right? So clear vision, helping us stay mentally sharp and spiritually connected. These foods and the deck itself invite us to build resilience not just through what we eat, but through how we align with the energies of food as allies in life. And that also just when we talk about frequencies, I really fell in love with this deck because I've been a follower of Dr. Emoto since the 90s. And his message was that thought, intention, and frequency affect the structure of water. Think of the water content in foods, okay? Think of the water content in our bodies. Our human body is mostly water, and our thoughts and our environment directly influence our health and our emotion. So, how does that translate to food frequencies? Whole foods carry frequencies. Fresh fruits, vegetables, herbs, seeds, they all hold the energy of the sun, the soil, and the water that they grew in. So we're not just taking in vitamins and minerals, we're receiving vibrational nourishment. So, in essence, Dr. Emoto's teaching gives us a scientific and spiritual framework that frequency is communication. So, whether it's bringing awareness to emotional eating, breaking free of food trauma, eating for resilience and wellness, the Food Healing Oracle deck, it offers us this pathway to transformation. So instead of food being something that we struggle with, it becomes this sacred messenger, one that guides us back into harmony with ourselves and into harmony with our inner divinity. So I am inviting you, if you are listening to this live or the recording, to explore this deck, not just the cards as cards, but as companions for your healing journey. Because when we transform our relationship with food, we transform our relationship with life itself. So I want to thank you for your time. And if you are curious how food can shift your energy, please discover the vibrational wellness and tune in with me and raise your frequency. And if you're ready to take a deeper dive, we are going to have a level 1 certification coming up. And I'd like to share that information with you. Okay. It is in the chat. There is a link for anybody that wants to pick it up of a level 1 certification training that we have coming up this weekend, actually. And if that is not how, I'm going to pull that up for you right now. If that is not how you're ready for this at this moment, we have a waiting list. And so I would love for you to get on our waiting list, leave a note there in the Facebook page under the discussion, and also in the chat, I'm going to put how you can get your very own deck on the Center for Intuitive Food Therapy website. That's centerforintuitivetherapy.com, which when this does go up, we'll be putting those in the links. So thank you. I am so incredibly grateful for having this time and space to spend with you. You can find me at deniseflood.com. You can find me on Facebook, and I welcome any and all questions.